I turned 23 in just a few days, and over the past 2 years, my life has truly changed. I went from lost, broke, and unfulfilled to building my audience to over 500,000 followers across platforms, my business to over 6 figures, and crafting a mission that lights me on fire. I can look around in my life and pinpoint different things I did or didn't do that helped me get there. But really, it all comes down to these 5 habits that I wish I built earlier in life. Habit 1. Consistent early rising. This habit is 2 parts. Part 1. How you experience life is largely influenced by your energy levels. If you're going through life with low energy, everything is going to be much more draining and tiring than if you attack life with high energy. A massive factor controlling your energy levels is your sleep. The higher your quality of sleep, the more energy you'll have. The more energy you have, the more you can get done, enjoy life, and make progress toward your goals. Most people intuitively know this, yet they do nothing to optimize their sleep quality. In fact, they do everything they can to ruin it. One of the main things being an inconsistent sleep schedule. This is something I had for the majority of my life. Your sleep is dictated by a circadian rhythm. It's a rhythm. It wants and needs consistency to operate efficiently, effectively, and optimally. What I used to do was go to bed at 9 p.m. and wake up at 5 a.m. Monday to Friday. But then come the weekend, I was staying up till midnight and waking up at 8 a.m. Which sounds innocent enough, doesn't it? But have you ever wondered why getting up at whatever time you need to get up at on a Monday morning is so hard? Well, it's because you ruined your circadian rhythm over the weekend by getting up at different times. Now, once I realized this and once I put this together in my head and started actually going to bed and waking up at consistent times, my sleep quality skyrocketed. I used to get 8 hours sleep and wake up feeling as if I hadn't slept. I would try to work and I struggled to focus. Everything I did was draining me, and every bit of work I did was at such a low quality that I never made any progress. But then I started waking up at the same time every day, and I started feeling on top of the world as if I'd never have to sleep again. It meant I could actually experience life fully, because when you're walking around tired and struggling to stay awake, you're only experiencing a fraction of life at a fraction of the quality you should be. I could get more done, I could get more done in less time. I wasn't crashing after lunch every day, and I wasn't walking around wishing I could go back to bed. And since I had energy, I could do all my work to a higher quality and make more progress faster. Part 2. When you look online, every self-help guru tells you that you need to wake up early to be successful, whatever that means. Even me, I tell people to wake up early all the time, but do you need to do it? No, you don't. But does it help? Yes, it does. When you wake up early, you get undistracted, undisturbed time to yourself to do the work that you know you need to do. You're on the front foot and there's no one there to disturb you but yourself. I used to wake up whenever I wanted. I used to not set an alarm and just, wake up when I wake up. But it was inconsistent, it was late, and I always felt as if I was on the back foot, which, wasn't good for just how I felt throughout the day and my quality of life, but it also just put unnecessary stress and pressure that ruined the quality of my work. I always felt as if I was playing catch up, and the rest of my day would be spent with this overarching sense of anxiety and guilt. But whenever I decided to consistently wake up at the same time each day, I decided to wake up at 5 a.m. Not only were my energy levels through the roof when I woke up, but I felt like I had the advantage. I felt like I was on the front foot and I had the opportunity to work toward my goals before the world had even woken up. And that made the second habit so much easier. Habit 2. Starting the day with a win. I used to put off my work and procrastinate it till the evening time, but 9 times out of 10, I wouldn't do it. Because by the time it was 8 p.m, 9 p.m, or whenever I was doing the work that evening, I'd already been through an entire day of, going to university, working 2 jobs, going to the gym. So I was drained, I was tired, I had no willpower and focus because I'd used it throughout the entire day. I was just looking to go to bed, and the anxiety of having to do the work was ruling over me the entire day. Meaning I would always end up finding an excuse to do it tomorrow. An excuse to put off the damn work. An excuse to run from the responsibilities that I took on when I set the goals that required this work to be done. I would end each day on a loss, which meant tomorrow morning I felt like crap. I felt guilty and I felt anxious, and the same cycle would repeat because there was momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in the world, but it works in 2 directions, either for you or against you. And if you don't do the right things so that it's helping you, it will be working against you. After having enough of this constant cycle of losing and then reading the book Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, I decided to flip the switch and start building momentum so that it worked for me. And one of the easiest ways to start building momentum each day is to start the day with a win. This can take many different forms, but the way I built this habit was by doing my most important task as soon as I woke up. And there's a few reasons for this. It gets it done and dusted. I don't have to go throughout my day and worry about when I'm going to get it done or if I'll even get it done, because life likes to throw curveballs. And the longer you wait to do the work that you know you need to do, the more likely life is to get in the way. So instead, I just get up when everyone else is asleep and do the work. It's also the best way to build momentum. You will never start your day with more momentum than if you do your most important task first. You're instantly proud and you instantly feel good and you're instantly on the front foot. Everything else you do is easy because you've done your most important task, which is your hardest task. Your most important task is the task that creates the most value for your goals. And creating value in whatever way you have to create it is never easy, whether it's muscle tears in the gym or whatever you have to do for your business or whatever goal you're working on. So your task that creates the most value and creates the most progress for you moving towards your goals is your most important task. But because it creates so much value, it's also your hardest task. And by getting it done as soon as you wake up, you get to go throughout your day knowing that you have it done. The level of momentum you build will carry you throughout the day, and the momentum of the day will carry into tomorrow, and then the next day, and then the next day. So not only are you building momentum in the day, you're building momentum over the long term as well. Starting your day by completing your most important task seems like such a small, trivial thing, but the impact it has is massive. You consistently do the task, allowing you to experience compounding. You consistently have momentum and you consistently start the day feeling proud of yourself. And from those three things alone, you can imagine the increase in the quality of your life just by those three things. And those three things are almost impossible to experience if you don't start your day by doing your most important task first. Habit 3. Sharing what I learn. I spend a lot of time each day reading, thinking, and running experiments on myself. I'm always trying to learn, grow, and improve so that I can pursue all I could be. And every lesson I learn, I share across Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Now, I did start this habit pretty early, about 3 years ago, but I still wish I started it earlier because there's nothing that has been more influential and impactful on my life than sharing what I learn. It's allowed me to build a life that I love, a life that is on my terms. And it's allowed me to make an impact, even if it's small, on the world. But most importantly, and rather selfishly, it's the ultimate vessel for self-improvement. If you want to grow an audience and create valuable content, you need to have something worth saying. Hence, you need to be trying things, failing, reflecting on those failures, learning, implementing, and repeating. You can't sit still. You have to force yourself to gain experience and solve your own problems so that you have knowledge that other people value. You then need to be able to package those lessons into content, which requires you to build skills and knowledge in writing, videography, editing, and human psychology, to name a few areas. If you want to monetize, you need to know how to solve a big enough problem that people are willing to pay for the solution. And then you need to learn how to build skills and knowledge in creating offers, copywriting, sales, and marketing. Essentially, with a creator business, your brand and your business are a reflection of you. So if you stop growing and improving, so will they. It forces constant evolution and striving for progress for you to succeed. It also helps you fulfill what I believe to be the meaning of life, the pursuit of becoming all you could be, which has two facets: the pursuit of your potential in each area and making an impact and leaving your mark on the world. With building an audience and business, if you don't do either of those things, you'll fail. There are prerequisites for success in the creator economy. By building the habit of creating content, sharing what I learn, and growing my audience and business, I've been forced to level up in so many areas and so fast that I would never have predicted it before I started doing it. If I didn't start sharing what I learned through content, I wouldn't be where I am today in every sense of meaning of that phrase. Nothing has been more impactful on my life financially, mentally, and in terms of fulfillment and quality of life than sharing what I learn as I go through life in the pursuit of becoming all I could be for the past 1200 plus days. Habit 4. Analyzing the path. One of the most powerful concepts in the world is consistency. The ability to show up every single day and do what you know you need to do. Without it, success in any definition of that word is impossible. But what most people don't tell you is that consistency isn't enough. Why? Well, because you can be consistently bad. And if you're consistently bad, you're not going to create value or make progress. So instead of aiming for consistency alone, you have to aim for consistent iteration. Now this idea took me years to get my head around. The one thing I've always been good at is consistency. I've always been able to show up. Now sometimes that showing up would have been worthless and meaningless, but I still was able to just show up. Yet I never made any progress for one simple reason. I was repeating the same mistakes and not improving. I was being consistently bad. And the fix is simple. You need to consistently iterate and improve over time. But this requires you to know what to improve. And that requires reflection and for you to analyze the path you've just walked. I built this habit about 18 months ago in the form of a weekly review. Every Sunday I take 10 to 20 minutes to sit down and ask myself these 9 questions. Did my previous week go as planned? i.e., did I stick to my schedule? If not, what didn't work? What do I need to improve on next week? What goals do I have for this coming week in terms of deadlines and projects? What habits do I need to dial in this week? Was there anything I didn't do last week that I know I needed to do? If yes, why didn't I do it and how can I prevent this from happening again? What am I avoiding, if anything? What am I wasting time and energy doing that could be eliminated, automated, or delegated? What did I do last week that I'm proud of? What went better than expected last week? I ask myself these questions because if you don't know what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right, you won't be able to improve what needs improved, fix the problems that you're experiencing, or double down on what's working. Without these questions, without this act of analysing the path I've walked, I wouldn't be consistently improving. I would be consistently going in circles. If you value progress and improvement, analyse the damn path you've walked with a weekly review. Habit 5. Sticking to my word. I used to be a massive people pleaser. I would commit to things either to other people or to myself that I didn't want to do and that in fact that I knew I wouldn't do. So when it came to doing them and I didn't do them, I would lose some self-respect because my actions differed from my word. It sent me into a downward spiral of losing self-respect, meaning I'm less likely to stick to my word again in the future, more likely to do worse habits and less likely to do beneficial habits, damaging my self-respect further. This constant repeating cycle made me feel like crap. I wasn't living true to myself and I knew it. So I would drown myself in vices to hide from reality. But the beautiful thing about lacking self-respect is that it eats at you from the inside. It tears you up, and if you're willing to listen, it will tell you what you need to do to improve your self-respect. What you need to do to get yourself out of the pit that you're in. I started small. I would wake up when I said I would wake up, and I downloaded an app blocker on my phone so I wouldn't spend time mindlessly scrolling my life away. And over time, I built up to doing everything I say I will do. And I'm only able to do that for 2 reasons. 1, I started small. I took on a load reasonable for the position I was in. I didn't try to change my life overnight, but instead committed to playing the long game and building up my discipline and self-respect over time. 2, I learned what to commit to. Most people struggle to stick to their word, less so out of a lack of discipline, but more so because they commit to doing things, or they say they will do things that they know they won't do in the first place, which on the surface doesn't seem too dangerous. But it ruins your level of self-respect, and that leaks into every area of your life, limiting the chances of you performing good habits, doing what you know you need to do, and increasing the chances of you drowning yourself in vices to hide from reality and hide from the responsibilities that you know you need to carry. I learned how to stop trying to please other people and started being true to myself, which in turn actually pleased other people more because I wasn't committing to things that I knew I wouldn't do, and I wasn't letting them down, and I wasn't letting myself down. When you start sticking to your word, training when you say you're going to train, waking up when you say you're going to wake up, working on what you say you're going to work on, when you keep the promises you make to yourself, every area of your life is positively affected. Your life improves. Because as a human, you're not born to sink into mental pits of cheap pleasure. You're born to bear a load and carry it. You're born to set standards for yourself, non-negotiables that can start small, but over time as you build your discipline and self-respect, demand your all. When you stick to your word, you respect yourself more. You're more willing and able to do what you know you need to do, what will benefit you, what is calling you. But it only works if you're willing to start small and build over time. One of the ways I was able to actually stick to my word, especially over time, was through planning my day. Now, if you want to see the system I have used to plan my day for over 1,200 days, check out this video here. And my friend, that is it for this video. As always, thank you for watching. Click that subscribe button and I will see you in the next one.